Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Nerd Entertainment Weekly Show, or as I like to call it, the news. So first thing up on the docket, we got a trailer for WandaVision, the highly anticipated show for Disney Plus, following on from, I guess, the events of Infinity War. We're going to get to see the exciting, weird adventures of Wanda and Vision. It looks so weird, and I'm here for it. It looks great. I'm so excited for this show. I'm so glad they're going in the Thor Ragnarok direction, where they're just kind of doing some different stuff. I'm a little bit burnt out on Marvel movies, so this is kind of exciting for me because we might be getting something different. Also, I really love the 50s aesthetic to it. It's cool. I'm very excited for this. Next in the news, we got a casting for She-Hulk, finally. Now, this is an actor I'm not completely familiar with. She's a Canadian actress called Tatiana Maslany. She's very famous for her role, her Emmy-winning role in the TV show Orphan Black, which is one of those TV shows that people tell me to watch, and I tell them I have when I definitely haven't, because I haven't got around to it. Apparently it's really good. There's like 5 odd seasons of it. It's supposed to be fantastic. I'll get to it at some point, but she's been cast as She-Hulk for the Disney Plus show for She-Hulk, which is exciting. She seems like a great actress. I can't wait to see what they do with that show. That show's quite a far way off, so we'll have to wait and see. People are obviously mad because it's the internet and comic book fans, and we're always mad for some reason. So, I think she's going to do a great job, and all the other people that think she isn't can shut up and stop being whiny crybabies. It's comic books, it's not real. Get over it. Next up with some gaming news, the PlayStation pre-orders happened. And they were bad. They were very, very bad. They said they were going to go on the day after the conference, and then it kind of just exploded on the internet, and everywhere started putting up pre-orders, and obviously nobody got them. They're now selling on eBay for like £7,000 or something like that. Something stupid. I mean, they absolutely cocked it up. Completely. To a hilarious extent. They did come out the other day and apologise. They said, let's be honest, PS5 pre-orders could have been a lot smoother. We truly apologise for that. Over the next few days, we will release more PS5 consoles for pre-order. Retailers will share more details. And more PS5s will be available through the end of the year. So it's nice of them to apologise, but at the same time, they made an absolute mess of it. And also, we've been hearing that there may possibly be less digital PS5s than the disc drive ones, which is interesting because most people I've spoken to reckon they're going to get the digital version. Again, it's £100 odd cheaper, and you don't need discs anymore, so there's that. But we will be getting more, so if you didn't get yours, don't worry. If you really want a PS5, I'm sure you will be able to get one. PlayStation said also this week that their PlayStation 5 will not be backwards compatible. Are we surprised? Not really. Sony hates backwards compatibility. It's like they get to a new console and just go, well, who cares about the rest we made? Obviously, we'll be backward compatible with 99% of PS4 games, PS3, PS2, PS1, again, just getting shafted. If you've still got PS1 games and you want to play them, just emulate them on PC or something, I don't know. Find somewhere to play them. Buy a PS2, they're like £20 and you can play Crash Bash, the greatest PS1 game of all time. On the flip side, Xbox announced their pre-orders for the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series 1. Yay! They're coming out on the 22nd of September. For the UK, they will be coming to like most major retailers. Like, the list was very long, some places I've never heard of before, but the big ones will have them. And they're actually not going to make a mess of this. You might be able to pre-order an Xbox One X Series 3 thing. I just called it an Xbox One. It's an Xbox Series X and an Xbox Series S. They're terrible names, but, it's coming. So, over the weekend, we had the Black Ops Cold War Alpha exclusively for PlayStation 4. I did get to play a little bit of the Alpha over the weekend. I just kind of forgot to play it after a couple of days. And I do have a video coming out about that, talking about my experiences through what I enjoyed about the alpha and other things like that. The overall consensus on the internet seems to be that people like the alpha. People seem to be pretty happy about what's come out, and the gunplay and the movement system and the maps and all that. The downside is people are still mad about skill-based matchmaking. Now, I don't like skill-based matchmaking either, but people really get really mad about it. Treyarch has even come out and said that skill-based matchmaking was in Black Ops 1, it was in Black Ops 2, and people should basically just stop whining about it. I don't see this as a thing that's going to go away. I think people will be angry about it until the game comes out, and if it has skill-based matchmaking, they'll still be angry about it. It's one of those things that's just not going to go away. It's in the game, and maybe we have to deal with it. Unless Treyarch does a complete 360 and takes it out of the game. We'll have to wait and see. They said they're working on things from the alpha, so it's interesting. I liked the alpha, so what? I mean, I'll leave my views for my video on it, but, you know, it was a fun game. I had fun with it, and, you know, that's all I can ask for a game. It was very limited. Definitely sniping feels fun. I've got some great clips of me doing some actually good plays, which is unusual for me because I am bad at video games, but that video will be coming out in the next few days, but just ramping up for the beta, and then the game coming out in November. It's all very compressed at this point. Next up, in indie game news, Hades, the Underworld-themed roguelike game, just sold over 1 million copies. I mean, yes, it did sell 700,000 copies in early access, but it sold 300,000 more, and it sold over 1 million, which is great for not a tiny company, but it's super giant games, and it's been in early access since 2018, just came out on the Switch recently. That's great. I like more games like this. I haven't played it yet, but everyone says it's really good. Next up, I'm going to talk about Timesplitters Rewind. Timesplitters Rewind is a fan-made project where a bunch of devs are trying to recreate, and remaster the original 3 Timesplitters games. So this has been going on for a couple of years now, and we haven't had much updates on it, but the other day we got 30 minutes of gameplay released against players and against bots. And oh my god, this game looks amazing. It looks so good. It genuinely just looks like a pure remaster of the first 3 Timesplitters games. I put, honestly, so many hours as a kid into those games. I absolutely adore them. The virus game mode was probably one of my favourite things in video games. I remember spending hours into it, especially playing as that damn monkey. The characters and the games and the guns, it just was fantastic. And I know there is something Timesplitters-y happening at some point in video games, but the fact that these guys I think there's about 50 odd people working on the game, the fact that they're doing such an incredible job on it is just awesome. It looks amazing. They obviously really love the game, and it's exciting. Go check out their Twitter. It's just Timesplitters Rewind on Twitter, and where they're posting updates and stuff like that. It's fantastic. Keep up with it. It's great. I love it. Get more Timesplitters, please. Marvel's Avengers, that wonderful game, is releasing a patch, an update, a patch, whatever you want to call it, with over 1,000 fixes, they claim. 1,000, you're going to need a few more than 1,000 fixes to make that game actually good, but it kind of shows how broken that game was on release. I know we get into this trend of AAA games where they just release them in an absolute fucking mess, where you need 1,000 patches to fix games. It's just, ugh. The game is annoyingly bad because it should be great. I released the whole video on it, but it's dumb. One of the funny bugs in the game was apparently if you just refreshed the weekly challenges, the game would crash. I mean, how can you put out a game that is so incredibly broken? You can still charge $60 or 50 odd quid for it, and you just expect people to be okay with that. Like, don't buy that game. I know a lot of people have worked hard on it and don't harm the devs and everything, but don't buy that game. That game is bad. And they're only 1,000 fixes. 1,000 fixes for one game. It's a AAA game. It's not some little indie studio. It's a giant game produced by Crystal Dynamics and put out by Square Enix. Do not accept this. It's gross how many patches that game has needed. It makes me so mad. That game should have been so good. We're going to move on to a section of the show that I just like to call Star Wars. I like Star Wars, and I like talking about Star Wars, so we're going to have a section in this show where I talk about Star Wars. Let's talk about The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is great. That's not all of it, but The Mandalorian is great. There was a new trailer for The Mandalorian. It didn't show off a lot. It did show off that Carl Weathers has a beard, and that's cool. I don't know what they're doing with this show. I know Tamara Morrison's going to be in it, so maybe Boba Fett. But I'm just excited. We're literally like maybe a month away from more Mandalorian, and I can't wait, because that just sounds amazing, and the trailer looks great, and Baby Yoda does a little thing where he traps himself inside his little crib, and oh my god, I love Baby Yoda so much. Also in Mandalorian news, the Emmys happened, and the Mandalorian just like won all of them. They won. The Mandalorian won 5. Well, technically 6 Emmys, but 5 Emmys. The show won 5 Emmys for production design, sound mixing, sound editing, cinematography, and special effects, which it all well deserved those because that show looks amazing, it sounds amazing, that show is amazing. And then it won the best original score, but I guess that was for Mr. Ludwig Göransson. For his that score for that show is amazing. The theme for that show is amazing. Did I tell you I like The Mandalorian? It's really good. I'm so excited for season 2. It's like the one thing of Star Wars that I'm just like holding to because I love it so much. More Star Wars news. Galaxy's Edge sells really, really nice legacy lightsabers, but they only sell them at Galaxy's Edge. I can't get to Galaxy's Edge, one, because there's a global fucking pandemic going on. But they've announced that they will be coming to shopdisney.com. Whoa! Means that I can finally own lightsabers. I mean, I need money. They are like $200. But still, the thought's nice. They've also put up a poll to see what the new lightsaber that they're going to release is. And they've already got like a ton of lightsabers that I really want. I know they have a Asajj Ventress's, they've got a Vader, I think they have an Obi-Wan. Like, those are the ones I kind of want. But they put up a list of like, vote for the one you want. And the list is Qui-Gon, Anakin, Ezra, Kanan, Cal Kestis from Fallen Order, and Lord Kovacs from Vader Immortal, which I have no idea because I haven't played it because I don't know a VR headset. But I remember the first ever lightsaber I owned was like a plastic flick up Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber. So to be on like a nice fancy Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber, that would be probably pretty cool. Those will be coming to shopdisney.com along with a lot of other stuff from Galaxy's Edge, which is exciting because, you know, it's going to be a while before anyone can fly all the way over to Disney to get the Galaxy's Edge. So it's nice that we'll be able to buy some of the stuff for ourselves, for us British people that want that kind of stuff. Also, you know, I like to think it's because we can't get there. Christmas is coming up and it's a marketing thing from Disney. They're not stupid. So I'm going to end these shows by just giving a recommendation of something I'm playing, listening to, reading this week that maybe people might also enjoy. So I'm going to try and give like maybe 2 recommendations a week. They might not necessarily be new things. They might just be things I'm enjoying. So this week I'm going to recommend, I'm rereading a comic book that's fantastic. A comic book by Matt Fraction called Sex Criminals. I'm not going to try and explain the whole comic book. Just it sounds weird, but pick it up, read it. It's fantastic. I'm rereading that this week. I'm going to give a shout out for a podcast. I absolutely love a podcast called The Weekly Planet. I listen to it every week. They talk about movies, comic books, TV shows, and games. They're great, and that's what I'm listening to this week. I wish I had something more interesting. I'll watch a film or a TV show next week. And then for a TV show, The Boys. The first 3 episodes of The Boys I really, really enjoyed. The next episode was a little bit slow, but this week I think it ramped up to a point where I was like, this is really, really good again. So I'm excited to see what they do with the rest of the show. So those 3 things, go watch, listen, and read to them because they're very good. All of them, great. So that's going to do it for the news. I thought I'd try this out. This is hopefully going to be a weekly series that I do. I just wanted to experiment with something different, and I get to wear a shirt and a tie, which I don't get to do much these days. If you like the video, give us a subscribe. We will have a news episode every week, hopefully, if there's enough news for me to talk about. Until then, you can keep up to date with me by subscribing to the YouTube channel, following me on Twitter, following me on Twitch, all that kind of jazz. Everything will be down in the description. Until then, this has been The News.